call. Thank you for the remembering. All right, we are recording, guys. Welcome to the team call on Monday, August 22nd. Nikki Elsing here. Super glad to be here. I'm going to tell you my story in one hot second, but first of all, and I'm going to go through a few slides, but I want to have Adrienne hop on first. I think she's at a volleyball game with her child, and she's sneaking out quick to be able to hop on and tell us a little bit about collagen and the influences had on her family. I believe her son. So Adrienne, I see you, girl. Looks like you're outside.
Yes.
If you can do us a favor and just tell us a little bit about what is going on with your family and collagen. Thank you for sneaking out quick. I want to get you on first so you can not miss anything.
This worked out perfectly. The game started early, so it ended early. So
good.
So real quick, what we're seeing in just a short amount of time, my son has been on the collagen as soon as it launched. We were actually at the Activate event, and they gave us some samples. And as soon as we got home, got off that plane, I was giving it to my son. His story has been like an ongoing long story. Most of his childhood growing up, he's been sick. He's had a lot of mental health and physical, emotional, up and down everywhere. He was doing amazing back. We discovered LifeVantage through prayers that led me to somebody that lived in a totally different town. I met her. She introduced me to activation, and we got him on the Axio, saw immediate results. So his journey started like last September, since doing the Nerf 1, the Nerf 2, the Axio, and then the Omegas. We would say he was in remission, full remission from all of his ailments, out of his pain and suffering. However, this year, he was down from like 10 medications down to 2. He had stopped his monthly infusions. He was seeing like 1 doctor instead of 8. So he was doing miraculous. Unfortunately, the neurotoxicity that is caused by this drug called Singular not only happens while you're on it, but when you come off of it. So he, going off of it, experienced some really bad withdrawal symptoms where he regressed big time. And he was back to experiencing all the mental health things going on, the OCD, the tics, anxiety, anxiety where he like was having severe separation anxiety, like didn't want to go to school, had night terrors, like hard time sleeping, didn't want to sleep in his bed at night, was having like regression with eating again, like restricted eating. And we just were back on eggshells again every day, like not knowing what the next day was going to bring. So, and got introduced to this, again, prayers were answered. I was like, okay, God, like send me to someone again to like help us. So we went to the Activate. As soon as we got off that plane, we got him on the collagen. We started slow. We just gave him a half. And then he was tolerating it well because he also had a lot of sensitivities to things. This drug caused him to become very hypersensitive to foods, to oftentimes certain supplements, to environment. And so we went low and slow. Within like 2 weeks, we were like, okay, my husband said like his mood is improving. And so I'm like, okay, let's bump it up. So we started giving him just the 1 a day. And since then, let's see, it's been between somewhere in 6 to 8 weeks that he's been on the products. And I just did like a picture today, a side by side of seeing like he had the dark circles under his eyes, and his skin is just lit up and glowing. But also like on the outside is what we were seeing is that he's my happy little boy again. He's back to actually today after school. He wanted to stay and do like the chess club, which is huge because before, just even 3 weeks ago, he's like, no way, like didn't want to do that. And so he's back to loving his life again. He's sleeping really good. He's going to bed on his own, not having the issues with getting up in the middle of the night and having me have to sleep with him. He is eating really good, which is amazing. His appetite is improving. So he's eating good. He's sleeping good. His mood is much happier. He's back to being like his silly little goofy self. He was having some sensory issues again and hyperactivity, you know, with ADHD that comes and goes. We still do the Axio and all the other products, but he's just back to himself again. We're finding like we've come out of this on the other side of it. We've been on the other side of this before, and we're going through it again. But what I'm seeing, like on an emotional standpoint, it is just blowing my mind what this collagen is doing for his body on the inside out, and we're just seeing it on his smile. That we see him smiling more every day, and he's just back to enjoying the things before that he wasn't enjoying. He wasn't enjoying going to school, and he wasn't enjoying doing. He just wanted to fixate, and all I wanted to do is just shut off his mind and just play his games. But now he's back to playing music again, and he's in sports, and back in chess club, and he got sick about a week ago, and it's pretty amazing to see how fast he bounced back like that in like 2 days, and it didn't trigger any of his autoimmune stuff. It like he bounced right back super fast, because normally it would trigger some of his past autoimmune disorders with illness, and so this time he like just bounced back really fast, and he was back like to school in like 2 days, which was pretty miraculous. And so I just think it's only going to get better with time. I think it's just like we're only seeing the beginning, because in the long term, like when you come off a singular, they're just now becoming aware that there are side effects coming off the drug that can last you for the rest of your life, because it affects the blood-brain barrier, and it's such a toxic drug that, you know, had we known, we would have never put him on it. But unfortunately, we went through this before, and the first time he came off, some of those side effects were much worse. He was having seizures, he was passing out, and then it led to the onset of like all these other issues. And we had no idea how to tie to this drug. And now that we're here a second time, we know what not to do, but we're so grateful for activation, what's done to his body so far, and what it's going to continue to do in the healing process. And yeah, that's it. Well, to be continued.
Wow, Adrienne, that is amazing. And talk about starting this Zoom off with goosebumps. Like, I don't even know what to say. That's, you know, it's like hopes and dreams and things that you would always want to have happen to him. And it's happening. And it's such an easy thing to be able to make a difference. And I'm so glad for all of that, and love the to be continued part. That's amazing. And thanks for hopping on.
I'm just excited. Like, I think God throws like trials at you for a reason, to make you stronger, and to be able to have maybe a more powerful, maybe a little shorter story, and like impact more people. I don't know.
Right.
It's been really hard, and I kind of I gained that hope. I was like, wow, it's amazing. He's doing so great. And then to just lose that and go backwards, you know, to like have that hope and then to lose that, and then to be like, okay, I'm clinging to hope once again that we're going to see through this. And now, because of this, I'm connecting with other people I wouldn't have otherwise, because I started doing my research and what's going on with them. So now I'm in these groups with other parents and other people that are going through the same exact thing as me that I wouldn't have probably met otherwise. And so we'll see who I can touch and bless in the process of this.
Right. And all those people that need this and need that hope and need a difference in their life and their kids' life. And fabulous. Well, thank you, Adrienne, again for hopping on. So guys, let's get back to the beginning. First of all, welcome to everybody who's on here. I'm so glad to see all your faces. Thanks to all the new people for hopping on and making this a priority tonight. I know that life gets crazy busy, and I'm happy that you're here, and I'm happy that you're sticking with me for being able to kind of be the sit-in tonight for the Zoom, and I'm super excited to be able to do that. So hold on one hot second here. I laugh because I just got off a Zoom right before you guys, and I had this Lemon Bucket Orchestra, which Marisa and Scott can appreciate 100%, but it is a very loud thing to be able to listen to, and I do not want to blast that for you guys all to hear. So let's get to the slides and just the stuff you guys know already, you know, remembering that we have to flip the switch Tuesday Zoom. Obviously tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and we have that Brandon Cunningham does that business opportunity, and bless him for doing this all the time on Tuesdays. Weekly Wednesday wellness, we have that too. 8 o'clock on Wednesday, again, invite guests. That's a great thing to be able to invite people to, and I love the way that this picture looks. It's just so nice and peaceful and good stuff. And then Thursday at 8:30 is that other webinar. And so on that, I want to talk a little bit about, we're just coming off a weekend of LifeVantage Academy, and ours was tremendous, you guys. So good. We had Marisa here in Sioux Falls, and it was absolutely one of my favorites, I have to say. And she just has a way about her of, talking to you without pressuring. And I think that's my biggest thing that I took away from it, is just learning how to just have those regular conversations and be there for people, but also in a way that's not something that is pushy, meeting them where they are and realizing it's taking many touches to be able to have these conversations. So I have a ton of notes. I have a huge to-do list, if you can see that, from Marisa, and I'm super excited to get at that. I already started today. So thanks again, Marisa, for leaving your home and coming all the way here to beautiful Sioux Falls. The weather was great. And also bringing that retired hubby of yours with too was really nice to be able to see everyone. And oh, hey, Michelle Vorse has a few updates. Brandon's got a new link in Telegram, and that'll be in there to be able to peek at. And then Tanya is doing the opportunity this Thursday evening. So perfect. And then of course, remembering that LVAs will all be virtual in September. So keeping that in mind, that's kind of be a big change, but with all of the things going on with corporate at that time, it just made it a lot easier. We have that Club 1%, and really looking at doing everything you can, obviously, with this new launch, to be able to start a reset button, perfect opportunity, and getting our butts to work, blinders on, focus, and really just digging up what we have already done, getting this in front of them, but then also knowing that this is kind of, for those of us that have been in a while, it's their second chance, right? To really get busted and going whole hog, basically, for lack of a better term, but to be able to take what you want, to be able to get all you can with LifeVantage and bless as many people. I'm sitting here thinking about Adrienne and the groups of parents that she's meeting in these conversations, and if I was one of those parents, how much hope that would bring to me. I'm also thinking of Marisa talking about, overhearing this conversation in yoga class. And I think about me and Michelle Poe just having a conversation in the line at school, and how there are those such little tiny 1% opportunities, right, that kind of fall into our lap that we have to take advantage of. And so open your mouth and get out of your phone and have those conversations with people, and you never know what that could bring. But being authentic and honest and just being a good friend and learning about them can lead to amazing things. And so that's kind of what I think a lot when I think of 1% Club, are those little opportunities that could so easily be missed. And us just needing to make sure that we take advantage of that. And on that note, thinking about our Collagen Cash, everybody loving Collagen Cash. I know I'm loving Collagen Cash. And I know those Poes are like killing it with their Collagen Cash. And I know Marisa, I think you're pretty up there next to them a little bit too, but I'm sure a few others, but definitely something that I'm hoping they keep around for a long time, at least through the end of the year, because it's a lot of fun being able to do that, right? And then, of course, having that Healthy Glow Essential stack, remembering it does have some Nerf 2 activation in it, but we really want to make sure that they remember to bundle that with that Nerf 2. And having that duo there is a big win-win, and a great way to be able to lower the price on either one, whichever way you're looking at it. And guys, I'm not looking at the chat, but if there's something I need to, oh yeah, Mia did, thank you. And then we also have Global Convention. There's a 1% opportunity, right? Getting there for October 20th through the 22nd, Global Convention in Phoenix, a perfect time of year to be able to be there. Definitely wanting to make sure that we get everybody registered and doing what we can to have this really big street party, I hear. Let me get that. There we go. So excited about that, excited about the future, excited about the school year. People are getting ready to kids back to school. And we know that with back to school comes a lot of stuff, but a huge opportunity to be able to, drop the teacher off a few Axios, drop the people after school a few Axios, whatever, Axio is kind of that nice thing that can start a great conversation. The teachers need it, the kids need it. I know I have a few customers that their kids bring a bag to school and they get to have it at school. So to help them, because they usually have a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the afternoon. And it works really, really well to be able to keep them on track and focused. So before I go on to a few more stories, I want to tell you a little bit about me. So I'm Nikki Elsing. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist out of Sioux Falls. I'm a Pro 7. Michelle and Sean are dear friends of mine. I knew Michelle from standing in line and dropping our kids off at school. I kind of told the story this weekend at LVA, but it gets me emotional. So it didn't really work out very well because I kind of got crying and sad, etc., but not in a sad way, in a super crazy good way. But that's how we met, was just standing in line. And it was 6 or 8 months, or no, maybe even a year before I even knew anything about LifeVantage. But Michelle's story of her being unhealthy and ill at that point, just struggling in her health and wellness, that it just stuck with me. And she was one of the first people that I went to once I heard about NRF2 activation, the power that it had. And I was insistent on getting it in front of her. And that's one thing that I step up with now, is I make a mistake with, I should say, where sometimes I get too caught up in, oh gosh, I probably don't want to bother them. I don't want to bother them. And back then it's like, I didn't know better. I just knew that I was on a mission to teach her and tell her, no matter what, that girl was going to listen to what I had to say, no matter what, because it was so important. And so that's what I want you guys to think about right now, is remembering those 1% conversations, and then also being able to say, hey, you know what? This is so important that this person must see it. If after they see it, they're like, no, I'm good. That's okay, right? My job's done, but at least I got it in front of them for them to be able to make that decision, and then connecting them with who they need to have that conversation with. For those of you that know, I didn't know Sean then, and Sean came to a meeting with Michelle, and I went, oh gosh, when they came around the corner, because I was excited for Michelle, and then I was like, ooh, he doesn't look like he's really excited to be here. But he comes from a whole different mindset than me, right? And I'm sure I was that way when I'm talking about research, but he's a numbers guy and he wants to see what the heck's going on. I didn't have the ability to have that conversation. I still probably don't have that ability to have that conversation. I need to call on other people to come into that conversation for that situation. And that's what I love about having an upline that we can reach out to and ask for help and questions, and make sure that you're utilizing that 100%. But how I started in the business was Joanne Shear-Parkin, as you guys know her, cute little Joanne. She called herself Joanne PubMed this weekend, which I think still is funny, cracks me up, because she loves research. But Joanne has been a huge mentor of mine for years. I've been a dietitian for about 25 years now, which is really weird, but awesome. But and I like it even better that I'm aging backwards, right? Or however we say that. But Joanne has been a big, huge mentor of mine. I've been like this sponge, just sitting beside her, soaking up all this stuff that she's been talking about. And so she was my boss at a cardiovascular hospital here in Sioux Falls. I also worked very closely with her, but also with another cardiologist. And we did a lot of discussions about nutrigenomics, functional foods, functional medicine, supplements. How do we get different things to people, right? And help people that are in different situations. And they brought this information to me. I was a tough sell, for real, because I had been exposed to a lot of products and experiences that didn't really have the research to back it up. The research is what changed my mind. And it wasn't what somebody said. It was what I found when I went to look. So when you're talking to healthcare providers and you're talking to people with that kind of background, send them to PubMed. Tell them where to look, let them find what they need, instead of like getting that massive anxiety of, oh my gosh, I don't know how to talk to them because I don't know the answer. It doesn't matter. You send them to PubMed, you send them some of those papers like the NRF2 Guardian of Lifespan and therapeutic potential of NRF2, huge, right? And that can close that up for you, and then connecting them with other people for validation. But truly, it's been one of my favorite things I've ever done, the best business decision I've ever done. And it made me have this huge, amazing, crazy family. Like all of you guys, I consider my family. And it's crazy. And I absolutely love it. And so if you have not been super active in LifeVantage, this is your chance. Go out and do what you need to do and get what's yours. Have fun doing it. Network with a bunch of people, but have a good time. But on that note, I want to flip us back to looking at a little bit more collagen stories. And I've got some really stellar people on the hook here that are going to tell you a little bit about their collagen experience. But let me share my screen again, because I think I don't remember which picture is coming next. So bear with me. This may be mine, which, oh, there it is. John Brooks. Can you
All right,
share
I need
with
to preface
us?
this picture a little bit. It's not death by a knitting needle. It looks like maybe Sandy got mad at me and let me have it, but I had I had shoulder surgery, and it was a rotator cuff, it was bicep tendon and AC joint, and there's 5 big puncture holes there, and 25 days later is the next one. Okay, so the cool thing about this was the inside. The outside looks good, but the inside was amazing. The physical therapist are just shaking their head. And like I said this morning on the call, I had the same surgery 4 years ago on the other side. And so, you know, I was kind of dreading knowing what was coming. It's gonna, you know, it's a tough one, you know, especially when you're a side sleeper like me and you have to sleep on your back or your opposite side. And it has been absolutely amazing. I am just like hyper speed compared to last time as far as rehab. The physical therapists are going, man, we would be tickled if you're where you're at when you get discharged already. So it's been amazing. The product is absolutely amazing. And man, inside and outside, and also, you know, a lot of other things too. You know, seems like I look different a little bit. Skin is softer, you know, don't tell the guys that, but it's an amazing product. And that's my story for my shoulder.
I love that, John. And you know, he's got some great things to stand on, because he had that other one done how many years ago did you say?
4
Your
years
other
ago.
shoulder? 4 years ago. So being able to kind of compare that is huge. But look at these pictures, you guys. And if you don't know John Brooks is a cousin of mine, Pro 6 here in Sioux Falls, does a ton of political advertising. That's his career, 30 years. And for the last 28 years, he's had a 70% success rate in people and the winning the elections, and they're big seats. It's not little seats. So kudos to you, John. Love what you've done, and love what you're bringing into LifeVantage to be able to help teach us and learn from. So John Brooks, thanks, man. And I love your shoulder. Nice work. You don't even have any scars. And I'm so glad it wasn't a knitting needle injury. I mean, Sandy, his wife, Sandy, I mean, you just never know, I guess.
That's right.
All right. Well, the next picture, you guys, I think might be mine. So let me peek. All right. That's mine. This is the first time to hit the airwaves. So I'm not super excited about it, but I'm freaking out excited about it, because that's my, what's it called? Somebody tell me, my décolletage, or what is it? I don't even know.
Décolleté.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mia. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So I hated this on the left, hated it. I even wasn't wearing tank tops. And I'm wearing a V-neck shirt tonight, guys. And I usually would never, because I hated that so much. And I was even looking at doing different skin treatments just to try to be able to see if I can make it better. But look at that. I am in love with the progress. I hope it still continues to get better. But I'm really, really, really excited about that change and confidence. It just makes me feel so much better. And it may seem like a little thing to you, and it's no shoulder surgery. But to me, it just means a whole heck of a lot. So there's that. And then I have one other person on here, and I see her, Jan Smith. She is a distributor who is out of a place in Nebraska that everybody wants to send their February 14th mail through, because she lives in Valentine, Nebraska. So all kinds of people like to have it stamped by the Valentine post office. And Jan is actually a massage therapist, and she's retired now and has a bunch of grandkids and kids, and she just loves hanging out with them and spending a bunch of time with them. But she has brought to my attention a few things that I've noticed in myself. And so maybe you guys will notice them in yourself too. So Jan, if you want to go ahead and tell them the things that you have noticed with your collagen story, that would be great.
Okay, thanks, Nikki, for this opportunity. I had to go, I've been a massage therapist for 28 years, and I was forced to retire due to bulging discs from T12 to L4 bone on bone between my L4, L5, which means it messes up my L5 nerve, which is my legs, your whole leg, down your calves, your feet, and my knees were getting so tight. I'm 71 years old, but anyway, my knees were so tight, the ligaments and the tendons, that when I went to sit down, I have to stand up. I would hold my knees to sit down because they hurt so bad. And so I started, I've been on the collagen for 34 days. And I started about realizing about maybe day 18, 19, out of habit, I was holding my knees to sit down and my knees don't hurt anymore. Absolutely. The ligaments and the tendons around my kneecap and all of that don't hurt. I don't have the pain. The muscles down my legs are getting more flexible and not hurting so much. It's beyond amazing because I want to get on the floor. I have a great grandson, 2 years old. It was hard to get down on the floor. And I'm going, God, I'm only 71 years old. This shouldn't be happening. And being a massage therapist, it shouldn't be happening. But anyway, that is just taken care of so much. And then that was awesome. And then Friday, I think it was Friday, I was standing and I put my hands on my waist and I'm going, whoa, it's not straight up and down on my side. My waist was smaller and I'm going, whoa, okay. And then I realized I went and weighed myself and I had lost 5 pounds and and then I measured myself and I've lost almost 7 inches. And the fat is up on the back here. It's not overflowing. And I'm going, oh, okay. I was not expecting that, but here it is. And for me, if I'm looking for what's going to happen on the inside because of all the people I can help. So what's happening on the outside, the wrinkles and everything going away, that's just icing on the cake. I want to know what's inside because that's what's going to keep me more youthful, and it just shows on the outside then.
Oh my gosh, Jan, I love that so much. And Jan is a huge gardener. She does a lot of work outside and does a ton of things, not only her grandkids, but being able to be outside and be active and do all that stuff. I can't imagine, like, before she was worried about the shipping thing and she got hers just in time. So we don't have to worry about it because she did not want to be without it at all. And so all of you, as you're standing there, sitting there, I know you want to put your hands on your hips to see if you have some of this instead of the straight. So go ahead and do it. Because as I was talking to her, I was like, oh girl, I need to check. I'm like, oh, I think me too. And then as we all go into the bathroom urgently after this, just to check and see if we have any change in our back accumulation that we maybe have had for a little bit. You can thank Jan because I was so excited to be able to check that out too and see what was going on. So Jan, thank you so much.
Say that in my inches, I lost an inch in each thigh.
That's amazing.
Almost was an inch in each thigh, and they're not so tight, and I can exercise again like I should and stretch.
Well, and you've been on Nerve 2, right? So you've been on Nerve 2 for a while. And then your recent addition is adding in that collagen and yeah,
Axio, also Axio. I've not been without Axio for years. Yes,
that's right. I love that. Awesome. Well, you guys, thanks so much for everybody who shared tonight. I don't know if this is unreal because it's literally 8 o'clock and we're done. Like that never happens. I don't know if it's you guys that are doing this to me or what, but usually I talk too much and I go way over. So thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate all of you. I'm going to stick around and snoop at you all as you're leaving and check out the chat. So if you have questions, throw them in there. I'm always happy to answer. I can't ever watch when I'm when I'm talking, so I apologize for that. But thanks for Michelle for having my back, and Tanya for being my co-host, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And have an amazing rest of your week, you guys, and take care. Good night. So fun seeing everybody.
Good night. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Great meeting, Nikki. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, Issa. Thank you, girl.
Thank you, Nikki.
Of course, Shauna. Love
Thank you,
guys.
everyone. That was amazing. Thank you, Nikki, and all who shared.
Mia.
So good to see you all.
Sheila.
Sunny's just seeing me. I'm just-
Fantastic call. Thank you so much.
Oh. Sunny, the puppy, literally, she must just have gotten from the airport. Crazy. Cody, I love all the things you were saying before. So good.
Oh, good.
Girl.
I can't
Yeah,
wait to
girl.
see you.
I know. I agree so much. Hi, Janet.
Okay, I'm gonna
All
hop
right.
off.
Good night, y'all. See you later. Thanks for being here.